I feel like it's probably worth doing.
Oh,
Okay,
hold
so
on. This might be the wrong way to go. My bad.
wait, what is it?
Oh, sorry. I think this was the one I wanted.
Ah, got it. Okay. I'm like, oh shoot, because I'm like, are they gonna wipe codes here? Like,
Yeah,
that would suck. So let's just jump right into the review. Grandmaster Brig.
mostly Brigida, but this one I'm not playing Brigida.
All right, which one are you getting help on today? What are you looking at?
This one was on a Kiriko. Well, I have the other one was Brigida. But either way, I feel like I think the Brigida needs work, but I feel like the Ana one needs a lot more work because my win rate is pretty poor
Mm,
on her.
okay. Why do you think that is?
Um,
Just not good. That simple.
I think there's always more to it than that because like I can play her in Masters,
Yeah.
but in Grandmasters I always feel like I'm lacking in mechanics.
Yeah, I mean, it might be that simple, right? You're
And,
just not good enough for the Grandmaster. Okay.
and
So
I
you look
always
at.
wonder. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead, go ahead.
Because I saw like awkward play with like some ridiculous sensitivity on Ana, and he was still like it looked like he was getting a lot of value, but I don't know if it's because he was playing like in a low elo lobby or because like or can you actually get away with that
Yeah,
at like
yeah,
low grandmaster?
yeah. I mean, that's always the tricky part, isn't it? So let's just focus on what is objectively good and objectively bad, and maybe we'll learn something along the way. So with Ana, it's all about pressure, right? Like you look at your composition and you're like, I am going to have to heal my monkey. I am going to
Right.
have to heal my DPS and my supports. But when and where can I get offensive nade value? Do I need to save sleep dart, or can I look to fish for it often? Where can I get offensive pressure with my just offensive shots, right? And we'll make
Right.
this, and then positioning myself to where I can do those offensive things, offensive things, right? Without actually compromising my ability to live, right? That's simple. Obviously, in execution, not that easy, but yeah.
And like the reason I'm playing on is because whenever it's like a mercy, like one trick on my team, I kind of just feel like I'm obligated to not play Brigida.
Yeah. What's your sensitivity and or what's your EDPI?
How I actually never
Do you know what
haven't
your
calculated that forever.
DPI on your mouse is? You may not.
I check here.
If you don't know, it's not that big of a deal. Just figure out to ask.
1600.
Okay, and then your in-game sensitivity.
I think it's like 2.5. Let me pull up the game. Oh yeah, 2.5.
Perfect. All right. Well, then that's all for that investigation. Totally fine.
Yeah.
It'll be good. This is the instinct that you have to break, or you have to build. Right now, your brain should be in one mode and one mode only. Right now, the bottom right hand corner of your screen, your E button is active and available. You are in a safe position, and there is a target that is E-able and punishable. Smack it right now, immediately. If you nade this monkey, my guy dies. I promise you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One thing that you have to understand with Ana is there's different levels of pressure, right? There's shooting pressure, which is kind of always available. It's kind of for you to dictate whether it's available or worth doing right now. And then there's bursts of pressure. And the number one most valuable, important burst of pressure is that biotic nade. And every time it's available, you need to be asking yourself, do I need to use it to save my life? You look at the situation right now. Do you need to be saving nade?
No.
No, it's just Winston. There's no real dive threat here. You're in a good corner position. You don't need to be saving nade. You need to hit this Winston in the mouth with the nade. And the way that the saying goes is an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Even if they did have another dive threat here, I would still nade here because what will this naded monkey do?
He'll jump back
You
to the top.
jump back to the top. So what does that mean for your survivability?
Pretty good.
Yeah, that completely shuts down one of the targets that you need to save nade versus, right? So yeah, exactly. The fact that you haven't naded here means that this instinct isn't built in as much as it ought to be. And so you get the nade, but it's too slow. It needs to be everything in your life revolves around that, right? You wake up, you brush your teeth, you biotic nade. That's kind of the way that it works.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and the nice thing about Ana too is it's like, you know, with it's a little like Brig. You know, with Brig, it's like you're fishing for Inspire, right? So you don't like want to be exposing yourself, your shield too much, breaking your shield for no reason, right? You peek, you hit whip if you're fishing, and then you kind of go back to playing like more of a passive range style, right? Same thing with Brig. Same thing with Ana. Find those bursts. I've got whip. I fish. I don't have whip. There's no reason for you peeking the enemy team too much, right? Same kind of thing. Except with Ana, you know, you got a gun, so you know maybe there's reasons. Like right now, everything in your life is about this nade right now. So where should you nade?
Well, I was waiting for the bubble to break on this situation, but I might have been too slow with it still, even.
But that's the thing. You said I'm waiting for the bubble to break, but then maybe your mind wanders a little bit, and then you start like kind of shooting a little bit here. But if you're staying fully tuned in, where is this biotic nade aimed? By the way, this is a
top
trick
right
question.
corner.
Top right corner. Where else?
I guess on Winston too.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's options here. Maybe if you were like, let's say you're a little bit slow here, you could also you see damage. You see the left, top left.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see it. That's an option too, right? Unfortunately, you see it again, right? Look at when you nade. Nade comes now. You see how slow that was?
Yeah.
And the widow's actually already dead by the time the nade actually gets there. So it may feel a little bit simple the way I'm explaining it, but it really is that simple. Landing the nades can be tricky. Taking a good position to land the nade can be tricky. But thinking about it, that mindset is not complicated. It is everything. All right. So what is the best position for you to be setting up for your anti-nade? Here.
I would say on the top right high ground.
Okay. Is that also a safer position for you?
Yeah, well, Widow, maybe not.
You're on Widow.
But
because don't forget, it's
sorry.
flip-flop.
Okay, yeah. I guess that if Soldier is not taking high ground, or if he's not established yet, then it would be okay position.
Now, wait a second. Why are you scared of Soldier?
I'm not scared of Soldier. I'm just saying, like, in this situation it would be good, but I guess one person needs to be the payload.
Sure.
Anchor, right?
The reason I'm asking you that is because, yes, you might have to push the payload here because everybody else is taking positions. But automatically assume that you're going to be leaving the payload and finding another position, right? I think somebody has to push the payload, right? You know, all of your teammates really don't want to be on cart. They want to be elsewhere. But if somebody takes the cart from you, you don't even hesitate. You're gone, and you know exactly where you're going. Get in that mindset, you know? I'm looking for a good position to keep myself alive and to land a nice nade. And okay, crap, I'm on cart. That's okay. I'm still thinking about it just in case that opportunity presents itself. Make sense?
Yes.
All right, let's keep going. Any questions so far?
No, not particularly.
Okay. Even here, you could be thinking, all right, while I'm stuck here, what do I do with nade?
So this one's like, I just don't feel confident I can land a grenade on top of the spaceship.
I don't feel confident either. Right? I'm with you on that one. Trust me, I am with you on that one. So what could you be doing instead then?
I mean, because I'm the payload anchor, I'm not sure I can move. Here's
an option.
Or I could just get the soldier, pressure the soldier maybe.
What should you do right now? Well, you couldn't really pressure the soldier at the HP you were at. I get it. You got caught with your pants down. You got helixed, yeah? So you don't. The reason I don't want you to be scared of soldier is if the footing is equal and you have like a cooldown and you know beat him in the 1v1. But he caught you. Don't ego, right? There's a difference between intelligent aggression and egoing, right? Don't ego. You did a good job here. This is a great rotation. But what should be your first response right now with what's on your screen?
Grenade the Reaper.
Right, or
shoot the Reaper.
What do you do instead? We'll slow it down just a little bit.
Don't do anything.
Right. Now, to be honest with you, that was a very split-second reaction, right? And we saw that with the biotic nade earlier. The windows for these opportunities aren't quite there. But this is why Awkward is successful at what he does, especially when it comes to Ana coaching, because it's about teaching a mindset so that when the opportunities present themselves, you're not only they present, you're looking for them. You're looking for those opportunities. So you don't have to think, you just act.
That makes sense.
You know what you're looking for right here, you know? If you're still not comfortable on the banking the nade at this distance, that's fine. But what should you be doing instead then?
Shooting.
Do you also see who's dead on the enemy team?
Oh, Widow. Oh, wait. Sorry, the tank. Sorry, yeah.
Right. So what does that mean for your other cooldown?
I should just be yoinking to sleep.
Yeah. You probably, given the position of the enemy team, you could probably get away with throwing a sleep dart out here.
Yeah.
Lazy. It's a hard ability to land at this position, which means it's going to demand you to really focus. You were not really focused. You just threw it. I don't even know if you had a specific target in mind. You just saw, you know, red or blue or whatever the color may be, and you just kind of threw it.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
Don't do that. Don't do that. It's hard enough to land it. It's even harder when you're not focused. And if you focus and you miss it, it's good mechanical practice. If you're not focused and you miss it, it's not good mechanical practice. Right? All right. So nice. Okay. Very relaxing.
Until like this point, like there was like almost no, like I could have been AFK almost.
Yeah. Now, what should your mindset be right here? Killer instinct, right?
Yeah. Look for position myself for a grenade.
Right. Now you're pushing cart right now, so that's okay. But you're like your fingers on that trigger. You are ready to smash that. I mean, if you look at this and you're like, I don't want to buy a grenade and Orisa, she'll just fortify or whatever. I'm okay with that. But whoever the target may be, you are looking for nade right now. You are like on edge. Here we go. Right.
I do want to ask, like, because I feel like with Orisa, like it's just not worth grenading almost if she has fortify up.
I think nade can be used early to force fortify. I would be attentive to her HP. So let's put it this way. Let's look at it from the Orisa's perspective. Let's say you could scout this Orisa perfectly. All right. No cooldowns used. No cooldowns used. No cooldowns used. Probably not worth nading this then. You see this?
I did it anyway, but yeah.
Well, you didn't know, to be fair. So maybe that's in a situation where you just hold on to it until you see a better opportunity. Because a better opportunity will present itself in the next 3 or 4 seconds. I promise you. All right? But like, let's say she uses the fortify. There's the javelin spin. This is when a nade would be very impactful. If you could see this. You don't see this, but just, I guess, just for the sake of the question. Right? It's the wrong sniper hero. Like, you could also nade this Reaper here. Force this guy's Wraith, right? Is that the best cooldown trait in the history of the universe? Maybe not. But it's fine. Sleep Dart seems okay to me. Nade seems okay to me. Unfortunately, he's already Wraithing, right? Now, this is tricky. You've got 2 options here, all right? Who do you shoot here?
Ana?
Or easier target?
Orisa?
Orisa. So if you shoot Ana, how should you be positioned? You think that your position?
I feel like here's good still because I'm at a corner.
Yes, exactly. If you're shooting Orisa, how should you be positioned?
Farther back?
Just here, to where you don't peek the Ana. You see that?
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah. Or you could even swing wider and shoot the Reaper. This is fine. Let's see what we do here. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I look at this tank trade right here, and obviously, like, Orisa on theory should just, in theory, should just win this. But you see the bottom right, yeah.
Yeah.
The Ana that does this trade better wins this. Take 1v1. You hit the nade. She's, even if she does have fortified, you see how low an HP that she is, right? Pretty good, right? Not the end of the universe. Pretty good.
Get in there.
Good. Shoot. Walk. Shoot. Nade needs to hit. Right? One tiny little detail I'll give you for micro. This Nano, as somebody who coaches a lot of Winston, not in love with it.
Yeah, because he just uses jump.
Nope. Even worse. Bubble.
He uses bubble, yeah.
So,
Right.
what do they have to deal with Winston if he doesn't have a bubble?
Ariza Spear, Reaper in general.
Yeah.
Visor. Ana in general.
Sleep Dart, right. So you nano him? I'm actually curious. How does he get value out of this? Okay. Well, you big brain from you. You've been watching this on this whole game. You're like, I don't think she's gonna land the Sleep Dart. So yeah, I guess that works. But yeah, I guess it's just a little detail to kind of keep in mind, especially at your elo. Like that it's more often than not going to happen, or not going to happen. So yeah. Okay, Cassian cart. Get the heck off of cart right now. Get off. Where should you go?
I would say position top right.
Yeah, right here. Get your sightline for your nades. Now, if they had a Widowmaker, you know, but if they had a Widowmaker, where would you go instead?
I would probably play right or in front in the building.
Ooh, what about like here? You know?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Or like somewhere in this general vicinity? Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. Very good. But you are not positioning yourself for success at the moment right now. You're making it harder on yourself. You're making it harder to do the damage. You're making it harder to do the nades, and you're also giving up this position to other people that might want to take it from you. Like, I mean, look at this Reaper. I mean, like this. If you're here, this doesn't work. You get Mercy Pocket, you get a far direct, you nade yourself, you sleep him, he dies in a terrible for him, right? Instead, like, oh crap! If only we could deal with that Reaper, you know? Like, and look at you, you're backing up because of the Reaper on the flank.
Right.
Which is making your position for nades even worse. Oh, by the way, what do you think about this biotic nade?
I think it's kind of low value, but
definitely low value.
Yeah, if he doesn't do anything off of it, yeah, I think
he does have fortify and spin. He's full HP. He's behind cover.
Yeah.
You know, I think this is like one of the things where like there are some times like you need to be in biotic nade mindset right now, but you also need to know what a biotic nade is not going to be worth using for. This is one of those circumstances here. So this is why positioning is so important, because positioning is what allows you to find better targets, right?
Right.
Finding that Kiriko, right? Force that Suzu, or use your biotic nade to win this Reaper duel. Get the kill, force his raid. That's good too. Or, oh shoot, there's a soldier up top. I'm going to hit this frame right here. Perfect, right? Instead, disaster, right? And nade is fine, I guess. I mean, there wasn't really any other opportunity to use it. No comment. Now let's go back a little bit here. What do you think? Nade, yes or no?
I think okay. It would be okay now.
Why?
She's a little bit lower.
She's a little lower. What else? What have you just seen recently?
Did she use spin earlier? I don't remember.
Let's go back right here.
Oh yeah, she used everything here.
There's the gold.
Fortify
right?
stone.
At least she used the gold. And she's positioned in the open. She's missing a chunk of HP, and she's aggressive. Oh my goodness gracious. She's cooking. You must go for this nade. Oh! But you see, okay.
I'm just too slow, yeah.
But you're too slow. And this is not the first time that we've seen that, right? It's like your brain isn't quite in that, this thing is coming off now. Is there an opportunity to use it? Yes. Therefore, execute, right? Your mindset needs to be logged in on that. And so that you can actually hit this nade and mate, this guy's dead. She is dead. Or guarantee Suzu. Guarantee Suzu, right? And that's a fine trade. Somebody's coming offline and online on my friends list. I'm getting nervous. Surely that doesn't mean patch. Good try in the sleep dart. I mean, obviously she wasn't fortified. The nade doesn't hit, but I think mechanically a little more focus, right? I think this nade hits. Sleep dart was good. I just think she just broke your ankles. Like, you see that she's kind of like moving left and just quickly twitches,
Yeah.
right? That was like accidentally a crazy juke from her. The sleep dart was good. But the nade afterwards, it just doesn't, like, it's just not even close. Now, I know that the arc is tough because of the uphill, but
yeah,
you can do better. I know you can do better. And it's all about that, because like if you don't put out that pressure, then you will not be able to keep your Winston alive. Because you will be taking too much damage from people that you should have been putting on the back foot. You have any questions so far?
I guess another thing is, like, I always feel like I have low healing on Ana.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
I don't know. I always feel like my average per 10 is like below
Doesn't
8k.
matter.
And I don't know if like that's because I'm positioning poorly to heal my team, or like.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Play good Ana. Play good Ana, and the stats will take care of themselves. If the stats even matter, right?
Right.
Like you said, oh, I don't know if it's because I'm positioning myself poorly. Well, then stop worrying about your healing per 10 and focus on your positioning. You know? Oh, my defensive or offensive assists are low. Don't worry about that. Just ask yourself, is this nade good? Is this nade bad? Find out what about your biotic nade. So do you notice that what we're saying here is we're not saying practice your biotic nade. That's not what we're saying. What are we saying specifically about your biotic nade that's wrong?
The mindset.
The mindset.
Not being ready to do it. Yeah.
Right. You're not ready to do it, so you're slow, right? Yeah. That's the problem. And I guess a little bit of the Orisa micro as well, okay? What about the micro of aiming it, right? What's the problem with your biotic nade there? Remember all the ones that you've missed. What was the issue?
One of them was like I just chucked it, didn't have a target in mind.
And I felt like that's been at least 2 of them, you know? So again, what's the issue there? Do you need to go into a training range and practice your biotic nades? No. You just need to keep your brain a little bit more turned on onto like actually putting them where you want them to be put, right?
Right.
So when we're not being vague with what you need to improve on, we're being very specific about what you need to improve on. So focus on that, and you'll win more games. Focus on that, and maybe your stats will go up. I don't know. Like, nobody cares about that.
I mean, I don't care about the stats, but I always feel like, man, am I not healing enough? Like,
yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, sometimes if a stat is like really, really bad or really like an outlier, then maybe it's worth for further investigation. But I don't see anything about your play style right now that's screaming that. What I'm seeing is maybe you're not positioning yourself for success to get good offensive and defensive value. You're not fast enough with your nades, and you're not precise enough. That's the mindset right now. So those are very specific, actionable things that you could be working on. And those are the things that you can be looking at. Like right now, what's the problem with this nade? Is it a bad nade? Maybe not. But what's
okay, I think.
But what may not be optimal about it?
She has fortify up.
Right, she had active fortify, so it's going to be very difficult for her to purge that. Now you do force Suzu, but if we look at this fight a little bit closer, if you see fortified Orisa and you're like, oh, well, I don't want to do anything with that, where could your attention be elsewhere?
Healing team or Reaper.
You see that? You're not even looking for this. Heck, you could even go, oh, this Orisa is fortified, so I'm going to move my position here. Why?
Open up the angle.
Open up the angle. Find a different sightline, because the sightline on Orisa, when she's fortified, that's not very useful. So maybe some pot shots at Ana, some pot shots in Bastion. Or, like you said, when you take the angle, you're like, oh, crap. There's a Reaper. Perfect. This is great, you know? That's the main takeaway here. When you're in that mindset, opportunities present themselves. Annoying. That needs to hit. Come on. Stop shooting nade. Stop shooting nade. It's always just a teeny bit too slow. You got me?
Yeah.
It's just a teeny bit too slow. Oh, crap. You see my friends list?
Yep.
Oh, no. We're doing okay so far. Now, who should you nano right now? This is a trick question.
Zarya?
Okay, who else could you nano here?
Farah?
Yeah. Why are both options, besides the fact that, Nano, Zarya, Nano, Farah, good? Yeah, but why? What's happening right now?
Zarya's a little bit low, and she can just beam down Ariza. Farah, because she's got a great angle.
Yep. You're saying the right things. Both of these guys are engaged very much so. So both are going to get a lot of value out of the nano. It's very important for targets without mobility, right? Because your Zara can't just teleport. But if she's in the middle of a firefight, you know she's going to get value out of this nano, right? You know the Pharah's going to get value out of the nano. There it is. Hit the shots. Let's go. Good peel. Good nade. He's dead. Let him go. This is really good. This so far, this little trade right here is really good. Now you've seen her use her cooldowns. So go back to offensive pressure. Walk. Nice, dude. Hey, you carried this fight. You played great. That was perfect. You couldn't have saved your Cassidy. The nade was good. You forced the ultimate. Brilliantly done. Very, very well done. Nade was good. Everything was good. Now, again, position yourself for success. I understand that you're thinking that, like, oh, you know, like, we're down a few. Yeah, but you won the fight. Take the position, right? Take the position. If this guy bashing ulti and you got to drop, okay. I get it. But position yourself for success.
Okay.
Nice. Broke him like a bad back. You see how like difficult this position is? By the way, this guy's hat was goofy. Okay, yeah, but yeah, take the high ground. You know, just play Widowmaker here. I mean, oh my days, like you could just literally just like smoke a joint and just totally fall asleep up here. You know what I'm saying? Like you could do anything you want right now. This is so confusing. And I mean, this is your Zarya is probably tilted because she's not getting healed. But why is she not getting healed? You know, you're playing like the teacups right at Disney World. You're spinning. You're not just take a position, shoot the nade. I mean, nade I guess is fine, but it's like it just doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. You could fish out a nade here if you wanted some ult charge. It's not gonna really do anything, but something to consider. As long as you can get it back by the time the fight starts, like right here, right? But the problem with this nade, however, is
I overshot, and also I think he has active fortify right now.
Active fortify, yep. Both. You overshot and active fortify. Now you just literally like the pixel manages to hit the Orisa, so you're lucky with that. Yeah, but active fortify. So you know, is it gonna force some cooldowns? Yeah, that's gonna force some cooldowns. It's not a bad nade, you know. At least she had taken some damage. You know, blame the Blizzard devs for giving Orisa 10% more damage reduction on fortify as well. I have no idea what they were smoking. Speaking of joints, but yeah, either way, probably not optimal. I think like you know. You're gonna win. You know you're gonna force the fortify and force her to back anyway. Imagine a nade like in a situation like that, right? Just a few seconds later, you don't quite have it yet right now, but you should have it, right? Sleep, nade, and so on. And once again, position yourself for success. I know you may not have time to rotate to top, but surely you have time to rotate to where?
Right room.
Even just the single here, right? Even just a single here. Now, this Widowmaker is definitely complicating things. I'm not sure if that is why you're where you're at. But
so this game in particular, I chose because in the next round, the guy goes Widowmaker, and a lot of times when I feel like the Widowmaker is hitting stuff, I'm not doing anything. I'm just like trying to survive.
All right. Well, let's in the interests of our. Okay, let's go to the Widowmaker section. Is that cool with you?
Yeah.
Because I'm like getting nervous. I'm starting to sweat. You know, I'm like, oh my god, you know.
Well, so we do end up getting this one, but then like here we go. I switched to.
Wait.
Oh no, this is like the overtime. So Widowmaker is like the other half.
Okay. Surely I'll find it. It's like an IQ test, and I'm failing miserably.
Or maybe I have the wrong game.
Maybe it's the wrong game. Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, I think it was this game though.
No way. I mean, he's definitely on Widow here. So maybe is it? Are you sure it's not just here?
I think it was like defense, but anyway, I mean, I'm okay with like. But I'm sure there's like other problematic things on that.
Well, okay, so at least let's talk about the theory while I'm fumbling around trying to find this. How do you play one minute Widowmaker?
So I just play like the biggest pussy. I try to establish like where she's at and then switch the angles, but then sometimes I feel like when I rotate, it takes so long that like, my team is dying. I don't know, is this the wrong way to do this, or like should I be like?
Remember when they swap to Widow, they're paying a tax where they are less equipped to punish you for getting close. Like, for example, if they're on Widowmaker right now, I don't want to frontline in Orisa. However, if I am to take, like, let's say a sight line like up in here, and honestly, like, dude, imagine if you're up here. What can they do to stop you from being here if they're on Widowmaker?
Nothing.
You kind of see what I'm saying? Like, it sounds
Yeah.
crazy, but like you just don't care. So my point is that, at least in theory, it'll be a little tragic if we don't find any actually Widowmaker gameplay here. But at least in theory, there's a chance that you could just kind of, okay, I can't peek you at distance, but I also don't give a rip about getting close to you at all. I just don't care. So like,
Okay,
you know, you see
it was a different Gibraltar game. I
okay,
think.
maybe so. But you see, like, a position like this, if they're on Widowmaker, is complete suicide. But
Yeah.
you also couldn't play here versus this composition, right? You
Right.
die instantly. But versus a Widowmaker, you know, totally free. There's no May, there's no Bastion. One of those heroes is gone to punish you up close. So it's always about the balance, because you are more of a sniper hero, but you can also get all up and close and dirty with the boys, right? It just depends on what they have. And I think that applies to Hanzo. I think that also applies a little bit to Ashe as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think the whole defense, though, in general, I probably could, because I think we kind of get rolled on defense.
Okay, well, let's take a quick look then.
We'll see what I could have done here.
Ah!
Yep.
Got the net, you know? Because that's such an important thing to use, right? Because if you hit this here, even if, okay, first off, you know, Orisa maybe not, but it definitely forces her to fortify early, right? Which means what?
Right.
How long can she stay up here now? Look at that. No fortify until the stickies, right? So if she's fortified early, the fortify expires now. It expires right now, right? And honestly, your Echo probably doesn't even use stickies until now. And then now she's cooked, right? Like, there's no way these guys hold high ground if you hit that nade. And now if they're not holding high ground, now what does that mean for your, like, offensive pressure here, right?
Right.
So much higher. And then now you're kind of like, it puts you in like a snowball position where you mess up one cooldown badly, and then now your team can never really recover because you put no pressure with that cooldown. You're kind of on the back foot for the rest of the series.
Right.
It's like right now, it's like you're in a bad spot. I don't know that I would have dropped necessarily. I would have tried to ego this position if I could, because they don't have the verticality to get to me. Because if you drop,
I thought we were rotating back. So
yeah, I understand. I understand. But if you drop here now, where's your positioning yourself for success now?
I have to do a long rotation back to the.
Yeah, it's rough, you know. Like, I don't know where you get your nade value here. I don't know where you get your shot value. You are essentially only able to do stuff on the Orisa right there, you know. And this is it, you know. You should sleep that guy.
Yeah.
Before you shoot him. Oh gosh, you're Winston. Ah! Okay. Oh my gosh, there's no way. Yeah, I mean, it was just kind of just a little bit slow. Aha, it's so disappointing. Okay. No res. Good rotation here. Rotation here. Okay, we win it. Now, where should you be? Position yourself for success.
Probably more left.
Look at this, right?
Yeah, like right there.
Oh my days. Offensive and defensive. You're playing Kovacs, you know? That's what you're doing, right? Right? Whereas here, it's just a little bit closer. That Orisa's a little bit scarier. Your sightlines are a little bit worse. I mean, look at this BAP, right? I don't want to shoot a Mei and a Nano Orisa, but I could shoot a BAP. Wait, no, I can't, because my position doesn't allow me to. Right? Nade is good. Who do we shoot? I beg to goodness that you shoot the Mei.
She's blocked. Yeah, and then I just.
Good try. That's okay. That's okay. You shot the right target. You have the right intention. That's the most important thing. No comment on the mechanics. Definitely something to keep in mind. Too many whip shots. Oh boy, you're cooking.
I think I'm rotating way too slowly.
Run. Oh, okay, you're good. You're good.
Though.
I would not have even turned around. Position yourself for success. I beg you to make the rotation to top. I know you're like, oh, my Winston. Screw your Winston. Your Winston just used bubble. If he's got half of a brain, and I promise you that he does, he's not going to be doing anything anyway. Watch. Oh, I'm just really nervous. If he jumps in, I'm going to be terrible. Please don't jump in. Please don't jump in. See, I told you. See, I knew it. I was right all along. I got scared for a second there. But yeah, position yourself for success, right? Take the top. What can you do from top?
Get an angle for grenade.
Yeah,
Shoot.
nade, shot, sleep, vision, right? No Orisa ults to worry about, or May walls, or anything. This guy's a moron. I mean, you're just giving this Orisa value. Because what is she doing? What she's doing? Okay, so this is what she's doing. As an Orisa, as somebody who played a little bit of Orisa, I admit it. Okay, if I could get in front of a squishy at this range and just look at him, it's value. Because
I get punished for this.
Yeah, because it's just I can javelin you, I can shoot you, I can force pocket on you, I can actually reach you with my gun and with my spin. I can fortify and block and eat all of your cooldowns. The worst thing to do as an Orisa, or to deal with as an Orisa, is either damage that I can't touch because it's too far away and I do jack all damage at range, or damage that I can't reach, right? I can't fly. I unironically think that they should nerf Orisa's survivability, and hear me out. Let her javelin spin and for verticality like a helicopter. That would be freaking hilarious. But I'm telling you, as of right now, she cannot deal with this, but she can deal with this. This is easy. Position yourself for success. Think about it from an offensive perspective, not just a defensive perspective. What are my sightlines right now? You know, I can only shoot the Orisa. That's a problem. Right, there it is. There's the mistake that we see with the you know, we saw the mistake with like the nade when she's got full HP, fortify, and so on. Yeah. And there you go, right? For both an offensive and defensive purposes, it just wasn't the play. Oh gosh. Oh, disaster. I mean, I get it. I get it. I think again, it's like that very first fight on defense where you're like, everything kind of went to crap after you missed that nade on the Orisa or when it got eaten, right? That fight right there was because of the previous fight. You should not have been in that situation where you had to like break a May wall, nano a Winston at 1 HP, that kind of thing. It should never have gotten to that point, right? That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any questions so far?
Maybe just like mechanically, do you feel like that is also part of like what is holding me back from like doing okay in Grandmaster on Ana?
Yeah, I mean, that's by far, I mean, for you, it's always, don't think about like, what would a Grandmaster Ana do? Think about what is separating me from winning this game or performing better this game, right? And so far, we're seeing a lot of it
angles,
right, a lot of it is just like the decisions and the priority that you're making with nade and the positions that you're taking to hit nades, hit shots, and heal. That's what's preventing you right now. Would that have won this game? I don't know. It's not really a big deal, but it will make you a better Ana player, which will win you more games and put you in Grandmaster, right? Yeah. People always ask me, like, what's the difference between a Master's Ana and a Grandmaster's Ana? Everything. Everything, you know? Like, I don't know. Like, it depends. Like, for example, it could be that your nades are, like, the worst thing versus an average Grandmaster Ana, but, like, everyone's different, right? For me, like, whenever I play Ana nowadays, I don't play, it's because I'm so washed at the game. My mechanics are really a problem. I make good decisions, I take good positions, I just can't hit my shots, right? So that's what's preventing me from being Grandmaster on Ana. But for example, like freaking DeFran playing Ana, what would he struggle with in like top 500? You know, that's going to be different than me. Yeah. Position yourself for success. I mean, I get it right here. You're late to this party, but for sure, there's a better position than here. Where is it?
I mean, maybe with the Bastion?
Sure, here, right? Yeah. It's awkward, but it's a play, right? It's a little bit further up, better angle. Now, optimally, maybe we could peek here, but we don't have time to do that, do we? Right. So take what you can do, right? There you go. Just don't get out of cover, right? Oh shoot, more people coming off and off. Maybe it's a bug. I don't know what's happening. You see this? They're all like coming offline at the same time. It's happened before. Position yourself for success. What should you do right now? There's downtime.
After go top.
Yes,
I didn't feel like I had time to go top.
Oh, you got time. You got time. Corner. You force them back. You force them back. Their mate's still coming back. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. But I would have. And if anything, I would do. You know. Obviously, it's perfect, right? Okay. Now I am. I'm frothing at the mouth here, right? You see it, right?
Yeah.
Come on, come on. And this is where the moment of truth is, because as you've seen before, you do see these opportunities, but you're not looking for them. So you're always a full second late. Let's find out. Ah! You know, and you can kind of see
I
how
freaked out to heal the Kiriko and the opportunity was gone. And
right.
Yeah.
Now it's like the thing is, it's like healing the Kiriko was definitely needed. It's before the Kiriko needed healing though.
Right.
That's when the name need, like right now. You have to, because if you wait too long, now your priority is to heal the Kiriko, right? But you know what shot the Kiriko? And I actually have a suspicion here. Let me see if I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. Ah, you see it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right? And I think it was also the Bastion as well. Either way, that the people that you nade are the people that hurt your team. So if you miss that opportunity, like this Orisa is way overextended. So maybe she just dies anyway. So this nade actually does get value, but oh my days, like so much more value here, right? Because it accomplishes the same thing, which is isolating and killing the Orisa. Right? Even if you don't get the kill on the nated target, it still does the job. Oh, this ought to be juicy right here. I want to see this. Okay, never mind. This guy's just too good. I jinxed it. The lamp was too good. And even here, right? You've seen. Oh my days! Is that a javelin that's coming near our head?
Yep.
It's terrifying. Even this, it's like as soon as you see that Orisa fortify, you're like your fingers hovering over that E, waiting for her to peek again when it's not there. Right there, right? Maybe, maybe. It's like the Blue Danube. Dun 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 dun. Ah, no, disaster. Okay, that's all right. Good try. Felt reasonable to go for that. I think for you it's not about like hitting every sleep and hitting every nade. It's about like putting in a reasonable calculated effort. You know what I'm saying? Because it is a projectile, which means that there's inherent RNG every time you use it. But was it? But did you actually put effort into it? Was the risk reasonable? Your Bastion's ult about the gate. Oh no, he's going for you. I thought he was going to cancel your Bastion ult. Your Bastion's not even close to you. I'm like, for example, here you had the right intention, right? Because you're trying to wait for fortify, right? And you're trying to like greed that HP. The only problem I would have here is just getting to cover a little bit faster, right? Because she might.
Do you like this position here as well?
I do like this position.
I feel like, oh, okay. I was thinking maybe I should have rotated back once I started to move forward, but I don't know.
Okay, I think it's probably okay because she really does have to extend a long way. So I think you're probably okay. Like I'm looking at this, I'm like, there's no like if you look at this here, is there any reason, way, shape, or form that this Orisa should kill you from here, right? I don't think so. Now I can definitely agree that going back here would have been good too. To me, it's less about which one was better and just actually having cover. Period.
Okay.
Right. That's the takeaway here. Don't think about like which one was perfect. Just please just play cover because either one would have kept you alive. Right. I'm sure of it. Okay. You want to look at one more fight here?
Sure.
Okay. Because we still have.
Actually, no, I think actually here it's like I think we just get rolled because we have down numbers or something.
Okay, makes sense. Because we haven't gone over the form yet, and I'm like, I want to take a look at that. So let me keep it pulled up, just in case, depending on how fast that we go through the form. Sure. So we're doing things backwards here. What got you interested in coaching?
I don't know. I feel like because I'm pretty like analytical. So I think I feel like my mechanics are pretty poor for my elo actually, but. Like I just like try to think of the game in a macro sense, which I think is helping. But like I do feel like there are situations where I just don't know what is the optimal.
Sure.
So.
Sure. Okay. And hopefully this is helping a little bit with that. And then how long you been playing the game?
Release.
Okay. And how long you been playing a Brig / flexing on a player?
I mean, I was playing on and off, but in Overwatch 2, I guess in Season 1.
Sure.
I wasn't like... I didn't like main Brigida as much until like Season 2.
Sure. Okay. What made you transition?
Like...
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Like, I don't know if I'm just cope, but I feel like I was getting way more value on old Brigida than new Brigida.
Like
Which
Overwatch 1 Brigida?
Overwatch 2
Oh, the rally
before the rally
change.
change.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's slower.
Yeah, because like I used to just like get value by like taking hard off angles and then pocketing DPS with repair pack, and that repair pack nerf like really hurt the way I want to play. And now like there's just no sustain with the ult, and I feel like I'm never getting value off rally. So I don't know. There was like a couple of Brigida ones, but I think we probably have to like actually do like a review to go over
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I think so too. It might be that the lack of mobility means that you have to try to predict where things are going to get hot and kind of put
Yeah,
yourself there, and then you're more of a lot more of an anchor, punishing teams pushing into you rather than you
yeah,
proactively setting up the things yourself, which I think is the wrong direction. I'm not a I like Overwatch 2 Brig. I don't like Overwatch 2 Rally. Um, the new rally that they did.
yeah. I really hate it.
I do too. I think it even looks stupid to me. Like I don't get that. But it is
Oh
what it
yeah,
is.
that too.
It just
I
looks
would my head
so
dropped
stupid.
like 20% though, or like 15% with like the new Brigida, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to adjust, but
That's all right.
it's been really
That's all right.
hard.
You can still pocket with DPS. You just have to be a little bit more proactive with how you set up so that you can actually reach them a little bit easier. Okay. Um, what do you hope to get out of the session? Better macro understanding and specific things to drill myself to commit to doing. Well, let's point that out. Like I guess retrospectively. Um,
Mhm.
do you feel like we'll write it down in a moment? But do you feel like you actually got specific things to work on with Ana?
Yeah, like be more in the mindset of the grenade,
Well, let's actually let's
the
do that right
better
now.
angles. Yeah.
Ana, more focus on the grenade as soon as opportunities present themselves. Look for those opportunities because so much of your value revolves on that. Okay, what
Mhm.
else?
Um, sorry, did we say angles already? I didn't. Like,
No, we did not know.
okay. Look for more because offensively, look for better angles. Because I feel like defensive angles have been pretty good. I don't know if that's just me.
Your sight lines, angles for nades, pressure, balance. Um, also will often up increasing your survivability as well. I mean, at least on this map in particular,
Yeah.
the positions that you were taking really would have kept you alive more too.
Hmm.
Putting a little bit more distance between yourself and that brawl comp, and then obviously we talked a little bit about the Widowmaker, how that adds some nuance in there too. But
Yeah. Also, like on King of the Hill maps, I noticed I do atrociously bad with Ana,
okay,
and I think it's because like the longer sight line, this is like much more cramped. So I don't know if it's like I don't know like where is like a good place to hold.
I'm gonna send you a video which talks about this because you need to stop looking for a good place to hold.
Well, not a good place to hold, but like, cause I know you got to rotate with like
Yes.
the enemy team and everything,
Yeah.
but I really struggle playing on King of the Hill
Your
because it's so
non-negotiables
much
are a little bit of
smaller,
cover, a little bit of sightline most of the time
right?
in King of the Hill, right? So you need
Because
to
I feel
then
like I don't get enough sightline on King of the Hill
well,
if I want to play safe.
here's what I would do what I would want you to do. If you have a King of the Hill map where you have issues like this,
Hmm.
get the replay code, get in the replay code viewer, get to a third person POV, press print screen on your keyboard, go to
Hmm.
my Discord DMs and press Control V and copy and paste the picture over. This is where I was. Where on earth do I go here in this
Okay.
particular circumstance? And you can do that a couple times, and I'll take a look.
Okay.
But yeah, that King of the Hill is really hard as a flex support on as in whatever because the sight lines are a lot more cramped and things are a lot more dynamic. But if you can
Hmm.
solve it, very rewarding, very rewarding. Stop trying to set
Okay.
your feet though. Start trying to rotate around what's given to you. It's hard to do, but that's the skill that you have to try to develop, especially in Overwatch 2.
Hmm.
Position yourself around better sightlines angles. I think for a little bit of a micro thing as well, I'll add micro. A little more emphasis on hitting the nade specific aim. Again, even if you miss, put the effort in. So then if you do miss, you actually learn from that. Or if you just have your eyes closed and just mash it, you don't, whether you miss or you hit it, it's totally irrelevant, right?
Right.
Okay. Is there anything else that I missed that we talked about that was important for you to work on?
I think that was it.
Mostly. I mean, there were details about a little bit better cover usage, some of the questions about nano, sleep dart. If you don't have a reason to save it, use it when the fight starts and whatever you can. But mostly just like details. I think those are the big three for me. Okay. Do you feel like going back to the form that you have a good understanding of how you should drill or how you should be implementing these things?
Yeah, for Honor,
Okay.
yeah.
I recommend one at a time, personally. I recommend really giving that one specific one of those two or three a specific focus for a day, a game, a week, until you see some improvement or until you get bored out of your mind practicing it, then move on to the next skill. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. 7 hours of sleep, not terrible. Could be a little bit better. 7 hours and 15 minutes is my final offer. So long-term and short-term goals: reach Grandmaster in all rules. Very ambitious. What rank are you on DPS and tank?
I've hit Platinum, DPS, and Diamond tank, which is still like,
It's getting there.
I'm
You're
like,
above
if I have a
average.
Grandmaster support, shouldn't I be able to hit
No.
Diamond on
No,
both?
okay. Well, not necessarily. So you're also playing, your mechanics are your weak point, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, besides general game sense, which you're working on, mechanics are the most, maybe honestly even more than game sense, and mechanics are the most transferable skill in the game. So if that's a weak point, that's going to be a little bit more difficult for you. But the TLDR is, the answer is no. Answer is no.
Okay.
Especially if you're not super strong mechanically.
I remember I was playing like in like Platinum with Sombra, and then this guy was like, "You're Grandmaster. Like, how do you have such bad game sense or something?"
Yeah, no. And you also just told me a lot in one sentence right there. Sombra, I mean, that's a hard hero, right?
Yeah, I would argue she takes like the most games, or Tracer Sombra game sense wise for
Yeah,
DPS.
yeah. Very, but not just because the problem with that you are oh shoot, what's the term? Changing the definition of a word mid sentence, like saying, like okay, let me give you an example. Like if you were to say that, like, I really hate that, it drives me, and someone says, "Wow, you're a hateful person. I can't believe that you'd say that." You're like, no, not like that, right? You're saying, okay, I should have good game sense, right? But wait a second, what is game sense from a support perspective as a Brig player and a Sombra playstyle game sense are we talking about here?
Yeah, it doesn't really.
There are a lot of overlapping things, but there are a lot of not overlapping things.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So just because, I'm good on support on Brig, I should have the game sense to play. Maybe not. You know?
Like, the difference between the tiers though is so drastic. Like, because I struggle like in Platinum even, like.
Oh, I see.
With Sombra.
I see. I think, if I can say so respectfully, I think probably the answer is that you probably just struggle with Sombra. But yeah, there's going to be a little bit less there's going to be a little bit less team play, and you're playing a very team play oriented hero. But you can you can make it work. You're good at the hero, but you're not very good at the hero. I mean, okay, let's put it this way: you're above average at the hero, right? Platinum is above average, right? So, but I guess don't. All this being said, as I'm beating you up, don't beat yourself up, right? The transferable skills are not as much as people think they are. It's like the outside perspective that people will see like a strong man, like the guy that's like 350 pounds, and be like, "Yo, that guy, I bet that he can run really fast." Probably not,
Yeah.
A lot of like people will see some athleticism and assume that applies to athletics in general, and it doesn't always. And I think the same thing goes for Overwatch. Especially if, with all due respect, Brig is more of a niche support in her playstyle, which can, honestly, it's like, here's what it is. Here's the analogy for you. Ready? Imagine a Grandmaster Sombra player trying to pick up Brig at a Grandmaster level.
That'd be pretty different.
Imagine if the tables were turned, right? And it would be even hard. It's even harder for you because you don't at least like. I imagine a Sombra player could get the whip shot accuracy at least down, but you're on the flip side with the mechanics side of things, right? I'm not sitting here telling you that support is an easy role to play. I think that's a little bit of the hot topic right now, but I think that's kind of overblown. I'm just saying that it's not exactly as easy as you might think it might be. Okay. Grandmaster want to support. What do you feel is holding you back from improving? I feel like I don't have the game sense and trouble understanding of what I am supposed to be doing. Do you feel like you have a little bit more of some insight into that?
I do for Ana. There was like some Brigida stuff I wanted to do, but I'll do it another time.
Okay. Now you have
So
a
I feel
free
like I'm not
replay
taking
code
good
review.
positions with new Brigida. Like I just feel like I'm not getting the same value I used to.
Sure, I got you. You do have a free replay code review. So anytime in the next 30 days, if you want to send me in a Brig review or a Brig replay code and send me like 5 timestamps from the mat, I'll give you some feedback. I'll take a look at it and send you some feedback in a couple days.
Okay, cool.
Yep, you can do that anytime in the next 30 days. So you can do that on Ana too. I mean, heck, you could do it on Sombra, but whatever you feel like. And obviously, if you have any questions, you can message me too. I'm looking through the rest of your form. I don't really see anything else that super stands to me. I would delve longer into like your training time, like how much you're training, how consistent you're training, as what your warm up is. Do you have any questions with that?
I just do like a couple quick play games.
Okay. I might, if you're looking on working to improve your mechanics on Sombra or Ana, I would prefer deathmatch over quick play, just for more frequent and rapid mechanical exposure to difficult environments and like winning duels, right? That would be a more efficient use of your time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't play deathmatch at all, so
I would recommend it. Tryhard free for all in custom games is okay. Just the unranked normal deathmatch that used to be an arcade is fine too. That I would recommend that. That's gonna be a little helpful too because that is one of your weaknesses. It will give you a little bit of a boost to your mechanical prowess, especially over a long period of time. You get more rapid engagements, and you as Ana, for example, you're gonna be fighting a lot of Genjis, and you're gonna get a lot better at it. That's how I taught myself to get good mechanics with those heroes, and so I would recommend the same to you. Okay. Any other questions?
I guess because you see like people like one tricking like Brigida top 500 or something like, and I wonder like how do they get away? Because there's certain times where like the enemy team is like Pharah, Echo, Zarya or something, like just like nobody you can hit, and like I wonder like in those types of situations, I just try to play like some like TikTok Brigida or something like to throw them off, but like otherwise I don't know what else. Like
that's
how
pretty
do
much
these
all
guys
you can do.
stay in top 500? Like
continue to pocket your DPS. Continue to pocket your DPS. And then get really, really good at, like you said, the TikTok Brigida, like finding ways to like isolate the back line and like disrupt the tank, avoid the spam, that kind of a thing. You also have to keep in mind, unless you're playing permanently in Yazan servers, you're not going to be playing Pharah and Echo every game. So, they're not the most popular DPS in the world. Echo's pretty popular, I would say.
Or even like when they're playing hit scan stuff, I feel like it's some of a struggle for me.
Okay, remember our recommendation with Ana, like about how when you're playing in a Widowmaker, find a way to shorten the sightlines. It's kind of similar to Brig, right? Like you're not gonna destroy Cassie in 1v1, but Cassie doesn't really want to get too close to you. He has to be kind of careful, right? Now he's gonna pick you apart if you're standing out in the middle of the open, but yeah, shorten your sightlines.
Right.
For them to pick a hit scan means that they're not picking Reaper May, right?
Right.
Or whatever else. So just kind of keep that in mind. There's always nuance with that.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Okay, so the last one is,
sure.
Do you find that the inspire percentage is important? Like, do you find that the number being important?
What do you think the answer to that is?
Other macro?
I
think it's the macro, but my inspire percentage just feels so low.
Is it because you're positioning yourself poorly, or is it because you're missing a lot of whip shots?
Maybe both. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like not hitting my whip shots at all.
Go find the answer, then go practice the solution.
Yeah.
Right. Because what stats can be used as red flags or yellow flags to bring attention to something that might be a problem, but they will never provide the solution to you.
Yeah. Because I feel like maybe I'm not going for the left click enough, but because I'm not confident that it's safe to do so. But I don't know. Might be. I think it just probably needs like a more in-depth like review on that one to really.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. All right. Any other questions?
Nope, that was it.
All right, mate. Well, good luck. By the way, I like your profile picture. I'm a huge Winnie the Pooh fan.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Have you read the original books by Milne?
I read the original one.
I freaking love the original books. Have you read House at Pooh Corner? Oh, you got to read it. It's so good. It's so funny and like it's legitimately like as an adult, it like makes me laugh out loud multiple times through the story.
Nice. House on Pooh Corner.
Yeah, House of Pooh Corner. The original books I think is two, and there's a couple other ones. There's a couple of the other ones he wrote more like children's stories that feature Christopher Robin. They're not as good, but the original two are just highly recommend.
Yeah.